Hey everybody, Alonzo here with GulfCoastSmoke.com, and today we're going to test to see if different flavored spritz makes a difference when it comes to pork ribs. Today specifically we're going to use Cherry Coke and Cherry Dr. Pepper. I don't know how this is going to turn out. We've never done it, but let's get right into the video. So we are going to be smoking these spare ribs today, but the star of the show is going to be these two sodas. I have Cherry Coke and I have Cherry Dr. Pepper. And I'm curious if this is going to change the flavor on these ribs at all. So typically I'll use water and apple cider vinegar or something along those lines to spritz my ribs. But today we're going to see if these colas are going to make any difference in the overall flavor. We are going to cook these the same exact way I cook ribs every single time. The only thing we're changing is this spritz. We've already prepared ribs on the channel a few times, but I'll quickly show you one more time what I do. Obviously, you guys do it however you want, but I like to take this end piece off because, to me, that's a lot of fat in there that I really don't want to eat. And then I'll just trim off any excess that I see here. I'll get this flap off. Pretty simple. Then we'll just kind of round these out a little bit. Nothing crazy. Flip it over, see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'll trim a little off here. And that looks good to me. This is just a backyard trim, so I don't need to go any further. Now, I also want to take off the membrane. A lot of people do it a lot of different ways, but I just get a knife, go under real quick, and yank this thing off. There we go. One. There's a cut right there, so it didn't come off fully clean, but we'll get that off. And after trimming, we're just going to get these seasoned up. I'll start with a mustard binder. You're not going to taste this. It's just to help the rub stick to the meat. So we'll start with a medium coat of Southern Belle. You can see it's got nice black pepper in there. That's going to give us a great Texas barbecue bite. You don't have to go crazy with it. And from here, we're going to put Southern Hospitality on top. That's going to bring some sweet. That's going to bring great barbecue color. These ribs are going to be on point. Okay, drum is rocking right at 275 degrees with pecan chunks. I'm using B&B everything. Let's just put this right in the middle. There we go. Then you want to make sure it's nice and straight, because that's exactly how it's going to cook. We'll check on these in about an hour and a half. And after about an hour and a half, now the fun part comes. So I was telling you guys earlier that I want to try Cherry Coke and Cherry Dr. Pepper to see if it'll taste any different on the ribs. So the one closest to me here, hit it with some Cherry Coke. And the one further away, we'll hit it with some Cherry Dr. Pepper. Like I said, I have no idea what this is going to do, but I'm curious to find out today. Alright, so it's been right at 2 hours on these ribs, and the first thing that I'm noticing is they definitely look a lot darker than my ribs would normally look at this point in the cook. And I think because there's obviously sugar in those sodas, as well as they are dark sodas. So I'm thinking that's where that's coming from. Again, this is the first time we're trying this out. I wanted to see if the spritz is going to make a difference on the flavor of these ribs. This could turn out to be a complete fail. and it could be something that I might never want to do. Maybe I should have cut the soda. I'm not sure, but the one thing I'll say is these are definitely looking a lot darker than they normally would. But we're going to go ahead and wrap these up. We're going to finish up the cook. We're going to wrap these exactly the way we always do, put them back on the smoker, and we'll check them again in an hour to see if they're done. Check them again in an hour. And this is what our ribs look like after they are completely done. I could tell you this much. The smell on them is unlike any ribs that I've ever smelled. My wife said the same exact thing, so I know that I'm not just thinking that in my head. Now, I also will say, I'm not sure if you could see this in the camera, but it's almost like there's like little bubbles on top of the ribs, where I don't know if that's because of like the carbonation or the syrup or something from those sodas, but something is definitely different, and that's for sure. I mean, I'm curious how this is going to taste. Let's take a few slices. Make sure they're all pretty standard here. So let's take a quick bite and talk about how these taste. Take a look at it from that angle. You can definitely see the color is extremely dark compared to what I'm used to. First, we'll eat one with the Dr. Pepper Cherry Spritz. Oh, yeah. Clean bone. Take a look at this. That's exactly what you want to see when you're making your pork ribs. And I'll tell you what, the flavor on this, to me, 100% is different. So let me take another quick bite. It's almost, yeah, it's almost more syrupy. It definitely tastes sweeter. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I get any cherry flavor, but I do get that, you know, that Coke flavor, that like deep syrupy. Okay, have you ever had soda and it doesn't have the carbonation and it's just super sweet and syrupy? I honestly think that that's kind of what this tastes like, kind of like a candied pork rib. Imagine a candied pork rib. This has a lot of sweetness on it, and I think that if you like sweet, you're really going to enjoy this. The one thing that I will say is I definitely do think that I had to sacrifice some of the looks. To me, this doesn't look terrible at all, but it doesn't have that beautiful red color that Southern hospitality typically gives off, and I think that it was due to the dark sodas that we used to spritz. Overall, I probably spritzed about 4 times every 30 or so minutes. I did over spritz this time because I really wanted to see if I was going to taste that flavor. And if I'm being honest, it made a difference. It for sure made a difference. Again, I don't taste anything cherry related, but this was a success, I would say. I mean, because realistically, I just wanted to see if it would change it. Is it worth trying different spritzes? You know, I've always stuck to the typical 2 or 3 that I've always used. And I mean, what about cutting the soda with apple cider vinegar or water or vinegar or something to kind of round it out and give it a good flavor? I think that this was a really, really cool experiment, but we still have the Coca-Cola cherry one. Let's try that next. And this one was a smaller rack, so I think that it might be a little overcooked, but it still looks great. Let's take a bite. And that's another clean bone there. To me, on this rib, I actually do get a little bit more of a cherry flavor. I don't want to say that I 100% just taste cherry and it's so profound, but I do think I taste more than just a overall syrupy flavor. And I think this kind of tastes like a cola candy. Have you ever had those little cola candies that they look like, I think like a jug or something like that? You can get them at the candy store, and I think that this truly, truly tastes like that. And I do get more profound flavors with this one, no doubt. I think that the cherry Dr. Pepper one was very good, but I think that I'm getting more flavor overall with the cherry Coca-Cola. And again, this is a really fun experiment, and I definitely think that I proved it to myself that it is worth trying out different spritzes and you can get awesome flavor using all different types of ingredients. We had no idea what to expect, but we think that experiment was a major success. There was a difference in the flavor with the Coke and the Dr. Pepper. I do think I preferred the cherry Coke over the cherry Dr. Pepper because I got a little bit more flavor there. The Dr. Pepper kind of tasted just a little syrupy and very sweet. Overall, again, it was a very great experiment. What do you guys think I should cut the sodas with in order to retain that beautiful color that Southern hospitality gives up? If you guys enjoyed a video like this, let me know by leaving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, and we know you guys can help us out. Don't forget to get outside and cook something good this week. And as always, thanks for hanging out up close with Gulf Coast Smoke.